What's up? What's up? Welcome back to the Knicks Cave. Jan and Nick Fan, your host, and let's get right into it. But before we do, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment. If you want to know when the next video going to drop, hit the notification bell. All right, y'all. Another W under our belt, but will it cost us down the line? All right, let's talk about this game real quick, and then I want to talk about. Y'all seen the thumbnail, you know what I'm saying? So we'll get into that. But let's just hit these stats off. What the Knicks did, another, one would say improbable win because it didn't look good. Let's be real. It didn't look good. Jaylen Brunson did his best impression of Willis Reed tonight. This is going to go down in New York Knicks history. That's just my opinion. I think this game will go down in history, whether we win the championship or not. This will be a game for the Knicks, for the New York Knicks history, if you ask me. Jaylen Brunson suffering a sore foot, coming back and doing his thing. But we get into that a little later also. All right, let's just look at these stats real quick. Halliburton had an outburst tonight, but it didn't do them no good, scoring 34 points. Siakam chipped in 14, 5 points off his average for the playoffs. TJ McConnell came in, was 10 points. I think that last game he had around 18 or 19 points. And Miles Turner, 6 points. Yeah, the Knicks did their thing on defense. At one point, we were shooting over 70% from the field, but we still was tied. The game was still tied. Brunson, I think he could have broke another 40 points tonight had he not set out the whole second quarter. Donovan Chizo, as I said in my first video, I was talking about how the Knicks can win this series. Dante got an average at least 20 points so far in both these games. He has scored over 20 points. I think that first game he had 25 points. This tonight he had 28 points, 10 from 20 from the field, 6 from 12 from downtown. Anunoby, earlier in that game, Anunoby was a capitalist for the New York Knicks. He held it down. And I was worried from the start because he was going real hard. And this is something we're going to get into in a little bit later. But yeah, he had 28 points left in the third quarter with they're saying hip right here, but we talking about hamstring. I haven't really as of this video, I'm making this video right now. I don't have any updates on his injury. I will be bringing out a video later on, but we will get into that in depth in a little bit. Josh Hart Josh Hart keep having them good games. What can I say? He the heart of this team. You know what I'm saying? 19 points. He got to start shooting them open threes a little bit more. But he's hitting them when he needs to. That's all that matters. All right, let's get into the stats a little bit more. The bench, again, outplayed by Indiana's bench. If you look what they did the last game, they actually scored last game. They scored 46 points, the bench, Indiana bench, and they came out and dropped 46 points. That's a total of 92 points in the last two games for Indiana bench. Compared to our bench, the last game we had 3. Tonight, our bench got up 12 points. That's a total of 15 points. Last video I said the bench is better, and yeah, Indiana do have one of, if not the best bench in the NBA, the league today. But I don't know if the Knicks can sustain. As I said in my last video, we can continue to play at this pace with the guys that we have left. Like I said, we're going to get into it. I know I'm just giving bits and then bites off. Yeah, the New York Knicks, the starters average in the last two games, they score actually 253 points. Tonight, the starters put up 115 points. If the starters can keep scoring like that, we should have this series easily. But, you know, Indiana was averaging 123 points a game. The last time they beat it, they did score 140. I'm still expecting them to have a scoring outburst. If you look at the score, 121 to 130, they only 2 points off their average in the season, meaning that the Knicks really did, you know, saying this can be and you look at this is an aberration in my opinion. The Knicks don't usually go out and drop 130 points in a game. Everything gonna have to come down to defense, but like I said, we're going to get into that in a minute. Let's just talk about these stats. Well, you can look at the stats and see what they done, how they shot from the floor. The Knicks, 56%. Like I said, at one time, we were shooting well over 70%. Went 49 for 86. You know, they shot good tonight. You know what I'm saying? They moved the ball relatively well. From downtown, we shot 46%, 14 of 30. Free throws, 18 of 22. Rebounds, 44. offensive rebounds, 12 and 14. Them offensive rebounds came in later in the game because the Pacers was out rebounding us on the offensive end. But steals, we both had 5 blocks, 3. When you get over to their turnovers, the Knicks had 9. They had 9. I mean, this game, stats-wise, like, when you look at the stats really don't always tell a game. You know what I'm saying? It don't always tell a game because, like I said, the Knicks out rebound them on an offensive bounds, and well, not really. They had 14 and 12, but at one point they was kind of dominating us on that offensive end, the boards. I mean, but Knicks stepped it up. You know, like I said, tonight's game gonna go down in New York Knicks history. Jaylen Brunson keeps putting himself in the Knicks greats, in the conversation of Knicks great. I once made a video a few months back, and I asked y'all, was Jaylen Brunson the best Knicks player ever? Some people start throwing in the all-time greats, and I had to agree with them back then. You know, I like, yeah, I'm just talking about right now. But when you look at what Jaylen Brunson doing right now, unless he gets a championship, we can't really compare him to Willis Reed and Walt Frazier. But yo, the things that he's doing on the floor, I don't think them two guys can do it. I mean, the game was totally different. So when they played, they was elite. You know what I'm saying? Reed and Frazier, that is. But what Jaylen Brunson is doing is incredible. If you ask me, it's just incredible. And if he continue to do what he do, we should be on our way to the at least the Eastern Conference Final. I'm hoping, that we can somehow go to the NBA Final, because Boston's going to be tough. And the way that the New York Knicks starting to drop, I mean, by the injuries, that's what I mean. We don't know how severe that injury going to be with Brunson. Also, Friday, you know what I'm saying, when the injury reports come out later on today, we're going to see if Brunson is playing, or will he, can Tibbs give them a break? Can Brunson and Anunoby get a rest? Would that be helpful? Or he going to have to start playing Jeffries and Sims, giving them these 5 or 6 minutes to spell these guys. Hopefully Anunoby can come back, because, like I said, things are looking kind of grim for the Knicks right now. And the reason being, let's be real, I'm going to hit y'all with something real quick. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about a little bit more, then we're going to be out of here.
The Knicks did what they're supposed to. But now Indiana, they just got to go home and win the 2 games. But, man, he got to be really careful, because that's always been a knock on Tibbs, that he runs guys in the ground. And you would think, like, okay, maybe he learned something from his Chicago days. But we only in the second round of the playoffs, game 2. So, listen, those minutes add up quickly, man. I don't think you can play guys the whole game, 3, 4, 5 games, and expect them to hold up or be efficient. The Knicks did what they're supposed to.
All right. I usually don't agree with Charles Barkley on too many topics. But lately I found myself agreeing with him on a couple of topics. But this one, I definitely agree with him. Some people, so I'm not calling nobody out, but some people don't think that Tibbs overplayed the players. You know what I'm saying? And my opinion is, like Charles just said, he didn't learn his lesson from Chicago. You know what I'm saying? I've been saying this for a while. I've been saying this since the series started. I've been saying this since the Philadelphia series, that he's overutilizing our players, overplaying our players. And I ain't gonna say utilizing, that's the wrong word, but he is definitely overplaying Josh Hart, and Josh Hart is gonna be the next to go. I hate to say, Josh Hart just might be the next player to go down. In the last 2 games, he played 48 minutes. He played from first quarter to the last quarter. And like I said in my last video, we can't sustain this pace. The wear and tear on our guys is going to take a total. Even if we get out of this series, which we are, how healthy are we going to be for Boston? And that's the thing I kept saying, how healthy was Boston going to be? we can't win a series against Boston playing the way we are. He's gonna have to start giving these other guys minutes. I know when Brunson sit down, shit go downhill. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the curse, but shit go downhill. But he's gonna have to start trusting other players. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be this defensive guru. So he got to put these guys in position where when the defense can hold the ship down until Jaylen Brunson get back off the bench. And as we've been seeing, the Knicks if we ain't down 20 points, the Knicks will come back. You know what I'm saying? The way it look like now, if the Knicks is down 12 points and you're down in the fourth quarter, whatever the case may be, you see that the New York Knicks somehow always seems to make that move to where they come back. You know what I'm saying? Like they come back from that deficit. It's not like before. You know what I'm saying? We have that confidence in the New York Knicks that when we get down and we hit that fourth quarter, the Knicks is just clutch. You know what I'm saying? So far in the playoffs, coming down in the stretch in the clutch, we 6-1. You know what I'm saying? So I know it seems a little controversial what I'm talking about, but we got to be real. Can the players keep up with Tom? You know what I'm saying? Tom, is he going to make the adjustments needed? Tonight, we played basically 6 guys, really. Now, when you look at the game Achua had tonight, you got to start questioning Tom Thibodeau. You got to, because Achua had a good game, and he could have been spelling guys way before. He could have been spelling Anunoby. My opinion, we could have still had Mitchell Robinson in this series right here. If we didn't play him as much, we didn't need Mitchell Robinson. I'm just going to come out and say we didn't really need Mitchell Robinson in that series against Philadelphia because Joe Embiid was on one leg. We didn't have to double him. Tom Thibodeau made that series harder than it needed to be. Yes, we keep talking about his defense, his plans, and how much he's a guru. But when it comes down to it, he's actually making the game harder for the players. When McConnell come out on the floor, I'm getting back to the Indiana Pacers real quick. When McConnell come on the floor, sometimes he look like he's almost the best player when he get into the hole. And that's because the Knicks be playing on a fourth or fifth breath. You know what I'm saying? And Rick Carlisle, he got himself injected because he had enough. And I expect to see some changes when we get to Indiana. He's going to throw everything. The kitchen sink, the living room couch. He's going to throw everything at the New York Knicks. I expect him to at least play a 12-man or 11-man rotation when they get to Indiana. He's going to put the pressure on Tibbs. I'm telling you right now, the New York Knicks cannot sustain what they're doing right now. And Tibbs got to understand that if he's going to get us out of this round, he's going to have to make some adjustments. Anunoby, that hamstring, they say it's a hamstring. We don't know how long that hamstring is going to affect him, because we all know how a hamstring can be. It lingers. So even if he's good, will they rest him in game 3? Should they rest him in game 3? Should they rest him and Brunson? You know what I'm saying? Throw in the towel, one would say, you know what I'm saying, but to live another day, you know what I'm saying, to come back and be able to fight, give our players just that one day or the extra day, because we play Friday, and if we get that rest, we wouldn't play till Sunday. If I'm right, if I'm wrong, it might be Sunday or Monday. I didn't look at the schedule. But this is an example right here. Excuse me. This is an example right here that I've been talking about all season. You know what I'm saying? Anunoby is just a perfect example. And I fear if Josh Hart come out and have to play another 48 minutes, we're going to be looking at the same thing. We're going to be going into Boston, having to play the players that he do not want to put in. And that's going to be, goddamn, the irony of it all. That is going to be the irony of it all. We're going to wind up playing the players that he didn't play in Boston. And everybody going to be talking about the Knicks had a chance and what they could have done had Tom Thibodeau had better player management. And that's what it's coming down to. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm ecstatic about this win, but we have to face reality. If Tibbs don't make adjustments and start putting the players in a position to succeed, and what I mean by that is start giving other players minutes, to get guys the little bit of rest that they need so they can compete and stay at the level that they need to be. We're not making it out of the Boston series. Because I see us taking this series. You know what I'm saying? The only way we don't take this series and have a complete meltdown if Brunson and Anunoby is done for the season. And I'm not trying to jinx us, but like I said, what Charles Barkley said, we're gonna go back one more time just to give y'all.
The Knicks did what they're supposed to. But now Indiana, they just got to go home and win the 2 games. But man, he got to be really careful because that's always been a knock on Tibbs, that he runs guys in the ground. And you would think like, okay, maybe he learned something from his Chicago days. But we only in the second round of the playoffs, game 2.
Only in the second round of the playoffs. And that's been the knock on Tibbs. I don't know if some of you just don't remember or y'all a little bit too young that y'all don't know the history of this man. But I said before and I'm going to say it again, he ruined Derrick Rose's career. That's just my opinion. And if y'all agree with me, hit me in the comments. If y'all don't agree with me, hit me in the comments. But tell me what y'all think. Do y'all think we can make it out of this series at least 80% healthy? Do y'all think anybody else going down? Tell me what y'all think, man. And with that being said, I want everybody to stay safe, stay healthy, God bless, and peace.